Okay, in this quiz, this is quiz number 11, Unit 6. This was given on Valentine's Day to 1414 in my Core 3 classes. Let's go ahead and go over the quiz. Let's see. Number 1, use SOHCAHTOA to find the missing side lengths and angles for each triangle below. SOHCAHTOA, remember, is sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent of theta is opposite over adjacent. Now, you don't have to use that for every single problem here, but you do need to use it for some, such as A. Now, this is a right triangle, so SOHCAHTOA works. We have all 4 side lengths, which means we need the 2 missing angles. Now, one angle is 90 degrees, thus it's a right triangle. Now we need to find x or y. I'm going to find y, which means that'll be my theta. Now, since I have all 3 side lengths, it doesn't matter if I do sine, cosine, or tangent. So I'm going to do sine of y equals opposite, which is 3, over hypotenuse, which is 5. 3 over 5. Now, to get y alone, to get rid of the sine, I have to do the inverse sine function on the calculator. So inverse sine of 3/5 second sine 3 divided by 5. 36.86 degrees is my first answer. Now to find x, I can do the same thing with x, or I can just remember that the 3 angles add up to 180. So we have a 90 plus 36.86 plus x equals 180. 90 plus 36.86 is 126.86 plus x equals 180. 180 minus 126.86 is 53.14. So x equals 53.14 degrees. Have my x, have my y. Let's shift over to B. Now, on this one, same kind of idea, but now you need an angle and a side length. So, for the side length, we could use SOHCAHTOA, or we could use the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared plus, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, c is always the hypotenuse, always the longest side. A and b can be either one. So I have 5 squared plus 10 squared equals y squared. 25 plus 100 equals y squared. 125 equals y squared. Take the square root of 125 and you get 11.18. And we're in inches equals y. Now we have all 3 side lengths. We need a missing angle. So we can use sine, cosine, or tangent, but remember this is our theta. So I'm going to use the tangent. Tangent of our theta, which is x, equals opposite, which is 10, over adjacent 5. So x equals the inverse tangent of 10 over 5. So if I do that, second tangent, 10 divided by 5, x equals 63.43 degrees. That takes care of A and B. Now, 2. Find the area and circumference for the circles below. Remember, area is pi r squared. Circumference is 2 pi r. Also, remember that it's perfectly acceptable to leave pi in your answer. So, area is pi times r, which is 10, squared. So So area is 100 pi, but the 100 on the front looks better. And we are in inches, and since it's area, inches squared. Circumference, 2 pi r, 2 pi times 10. 2 times 10 is 20, so circumference equals 20 pi, and circumference is just inches. And that's it. Now you could go farther and do 100 times 3.14 and 20 times 3.14, but this is a more accurate answer. There is no rounding here. This is the kind of thing you'll see on ACT. Next one. Next one, you have to remember it gives you diameter, not the radius. So if 15 is the diameter, then 15 divided by 2, which is 7.5, is the radius. Use that in your calculations. Area equals pi 7.5 squared. 7.5 times 7.5 is 56.25. So area equals 56.25 and centimeters squared. Circumference, 2 pi 7.5. Well, 2 times radius just gives us the diameter again. So circumference is just 15 pi centimeters. Go back and circle all the answers. And there's that. Now, moving on. Number 3. Label each of the following things on the diagram below. So this one's just a simple labeling activity. Tangent line, we discussed, is the line that touches the circle once. Point of tangency is where it touches. The radius is the length from the middle to the edge of the circle. The center is the center of the circle. And line segment AB is right here. It's the line segment made from points A and B. So that's it. Just 5 things. Tangent line, point of tangency, radius, center, and AB. Now, the back. This is where we get into the more difficult parts, which is using the properties of the tangent to calculate different measurements. Now, it says use the diagram below to answer this question. Line L is tangent to the circle centered at point O, which has a radius of 13 centimeters. I'm going to write that in. And line segment AB is 9 centimeters long. What is the measurement of line segment OB? I'm going to put an X there. And also, what is the measurement of angle ABO? I'll put a Y right there. Now, if we separate this triangle we just labeled, we will see that we have 2 side lengths. Point of tangency makes a 90-degree angle, and we need the hypotenuse and that angle right there. Now it is no different than one of the first problems from the quiz. We're going to use a combination of SOHCAHTOA and Pythagorean theorem. So first, let's solve for x. X is our c this time, so we have a, b. 13 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. 13 squared is 169, 9 squared is 81, equals c squared. 169 plus 81 is 250, equals c squared. Square root of 250 equals 15.81, and we're in centimeters. So line segment BO, 15.81 centimeters. Now, SOHCAHTOA to find the angle. This will be our theta, and since we have all 3 sides, we can use sine, cosine, or tangent. Once again, I'm going to use the tangent. So tangent of y equals opposite, which is 13, over adjacent, which is 9. So So y equals the inverse tangent of 13 over 9. Do that calculation. Second tangent, 13 divided by 9. I get 55.30. Y equals 55.30 degrees, which is our angle of ABO. You always want to go back to what was asked you. It didn't ask you what x equaled. We just put that in to make sure we knew what we're solving for. It asked you what BO equals. So write BO equals. Same thing as angle ABO. Number 5. Use the diagram below to answer the question. Now, there was a typo here, and I explained it in the class. But instead of line L, now we just have AP and BP are tangent to a circle. Center at point O, which has a radius of 25 inches. I'm going to mark that in. And point P is located 38 inches away from the center. What is the measurement of the line segment AP? What is the measurement of angle PAO? So we have this defined and that defined. Now, first things first. The angle should be easy to find. This is our point of tangency, which means that this angle is supposed to be 90 degrees. So angle PAO equals 90 degrees. And we know that just based off the property of tangents. Now, x. We have this triangle. This is 38 inches. This is 25 inches. This is what we want to find. Now, this time we're given the hypotenuse and asked for one of the a's or the b's. 25 squared plus x squared equals 38 squared. Now, do the math. 25 squared is 625 plus x squared, and 38 squared is 1,444 minus 625 minus 625. We get x squared equals 819. Square root of 819 and we get x equals 28.61. That's 28.62 if we round up. And that is measurement AP. So line segment AP equals 28.62 inches. And there's the quiz.